Thank you all. Hashtag technical difficulties. No, so you know that thing, it's not a deadbolt, but whatever you put on a door to secure it, put that on, forgetting my roommate needed to get in the house. But we're back now. And before I forget, me pausing allowed me to tag two of my favorite entrepreneurs that I forgot to tag the first time. I am wearing one of, can y'all see it? I don't have to stand up all the way. One of Michael Diamond's shirts. It says, I'm on Team Jesus. I'm not religious. I'm a Christian, imperfect and unworthy, saved by grace, seeking after God. This is one of my favorite t-shirts. Actually, I told him I was going to go live wearing it because I was wearing it the other day. And I love Christian tees and like Christian apparel because it's like such an awesome way to evangelize. This has not much to do with the rest of the video. But I just wanted to make sure I gave his shout out. I can link his page. He has a apparel page. They do a whole bunch of stuff, not just like Christian wear, but he does like sublimation socks and t-shirts and stuff. But I like this shirt because I was at work and I noticed two people looking at my shirt. I know more people probably saw it, but it's such a great way just to like profess like your allegiance to Christ. And, you know, people are, oh, what's your shirt say? Like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, and it's a conversation starter. And yeah, and I really like this shirt. Like one of the ladies who saw it, and Mike Diamond, he ships, I think he said. I think he does business like everywhere. So people in Cleveland and out of, he's based in Cleveland. But good quality, awesome quality. The lady who was looking at my shirt had said, oh yeah, you know, it's a really nice shirt. I'm like, okay, well he ships. She's like, oh, my niece does it. I'm like, okay, well no worries. She's like, but you know, my niece, like I washed it once and the letter's falling off. I washed it probably like 3 times. No fade and no nothing. So this is your shout out. Don't say I never did nothing. But no, I love Michael and his wife, Teresa. I love them. But back to this Columbus transition. I think I was at the part where I don't take on debt. Both of my cars I've ever had paid out outright. Very proud of that. Not much debt. But I always have to remember that not much debt also means not much credit. So as we are apartment hunting, they like, baby, you ain't never borrowed nothing from nobody. I'm like, no. They're like, well, you ain't got no credit. So some of the people we were talking to for the apartment were like, hey, like some of the apartments, the range was anywhere between like maybe $100 deposit to like an entire month's rent for deposit. So that was something else. I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna worry about it. I got favor. And I'll just condense the apartment search with, there was other things that went on with the apartment, but just the fact of when we applied for the apartment, you know, got approved, and not only was approved for the apartment, but only had to pay the lowest amount for a deposit, which was crazy because with my like very like short history of credit, I was expecting to have to pay like a full month's rent as a deposit, but they're like, nope, just $100. So that in itself was so much favor because one, I can have my money go to other things, but it's like there's by no means I should have had to pay that low, but God. So I think that's what I had left off on talking about on part 1 of the video was the apartment search and things like that. So got into an apartment. It's amazing. It's like townhouse type, big, lot of space. I'll give you guys a tour one day. There's still stuff kind of like out. I was rearranging my room today and putting stuff up. That's probably why I went live. But I'll give you guys a tour. I like my room. I love my home. I have 2 closets and it's amazing. But kind of just wrapping up. So we talked about, and go back and watch the first live if you guys are just tuning in for the first time. So we talked about my pre-transition. We talked about the day of the move. So here we are post-move. So post-move, looking kind of at the job aspect. So the job that I got on the spot the week before my transition, I have grace there like you would not believe. And I mentioned this in some videos a while back, about, you know, even though I'm an entrepreneur by heart and by trade, when I do take on other jobs, I've had to learn, it's Colossians 3:23, everything you do, do as though you're working unto the Lord. Because even though I might not want to be there, they didn't have to give me a job, you know, so being diligent and doing everything I'm working as if I'm working towards the Lord and as if I'm working towards my own business. And I definitely believe that God just rewards diligence and obedience. So in working with this job, there was so many blessings that I didn't even know was going on, between the fact of the job started at 5 a.m. Anyone who knows me even a little bit knows, one of my friends, he calls me a vampire because I will stay up and the night is my time. Like, I will stay up midnight, 1, 2 a.m. doing things, and opt for a later start to my day versus like getting up early. I'm not a fan of it. I think I've talked about that before. Not liking getting up. Blessed, thankful that I get up in the morning. But so this new job I was taking, this is a little seasonal position, was started at 5. So I had to get up at like 3 something to leave at like 4 something. And so that was like, I can't even call that negative. That's one thing about it. And it was lower pay than what I had actually was looking for. But I'm like, don't worry, I just need a base. I just need some right now money. This is cool. So getting up 3 something in the morning. But I kind of realized that was a blessing because I've talked about it before. When I first started driving, and I haven't been driving but like maybe 2 years. Like, I just wasn't interested in driving as a teenager. I know I'm weird, but I've only been driving like not even a full 2 years, and I was apprehensive about hopping on the freeway. So I realized that not only did having a 5 a.m. work start time help create some discipline in me, because discipline was something I was lacking as far as just in general. But I told myself, I was like, hey, if you can get up and start a job for somebody at 5 a.m., if you get another position that starts at 8, you better darn sure believe your butt better be there on time at 8 if you could be here. Because it was one of those jobs where it was, hey, babe, where it was no grace. Like, if you was there at 5:01, you late. So, I'm like, this is building discipline, and if I end up working for someone else, and also discipline for myself, because, how much more diligent should I be in building my own business? If you're going to be there for someone else at 5 a.m., if you are going to start your trainings at 9 or whatever it is, ain't no reason you running through the door at 8:59 or 9:01. So having a 5 a.m. start time definitely started to help build discipline in me. And I was on time most days. Very proud of myself for that. And let's go to that. Is that they had, it was like and I've never really worked a job like this before, because like I've said before, I went straight from college into building my own business. So I don't have as much work experience, and I didn't work in high school. I got my first job when I was on campus, so I don't have as much like job work experience as other people. So I had never really been on a job. You clock in, can't be late, got a point system and all that type of stuff. And I think this job made me be grateful for the opportunity for entrepreneurship as well. But working this job, and they have like a point system where it was like, I think more than 3.5 and you're supposed to be terminated. I think a full point was calling off work, and a half point was being late. So something that I've been dealing with, I guess I'll call it like a medical concern or whatever, had caused me, honey, don't get me started. I'm not about this life. But so something happened towards I had to leave work early. That's half point. And then that next day, I think I called off. So I'm already at like 1.5 or whatever. But all of this to say, I went beyond that like 3.5 point maximum between not feeling well and needing to leave and what have you. But I'm so appreciative because the person who was my supervisor at the job, she was very understanding through everything. Like, there was a day I think I walked past her. She's like, hey, how you feeling? You all right? You doing well? She's like, you feeling all right? And it could have been, hey, if you sick, you a hazard. We need you to go anyway. But it seemed like it was a genuine like concern and care. So I was like, hey, you're not feeling well? You need to leave? See you later. And I know, like, I think it was one day I ended up calling off. And I ended up being late. And I think something happened. I think I woke up late one day. Like, I think I stayed up late the night before and just woke up late and just like probably woke up at 8. So like 3 hours into my shift. So I just didn't even go. And I'm like, I'm probably fired. I'm like, now I got to go look for something else. In my head, I was just fired and it was just over. But it was me and my roommate. She was like, just go in. She's like, go in tomorrow. She's like, the worst they can do is turn you away and say, hey, you out of here. But go in. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go in tomorrow. And I went in, and I ended up being late that morning going in. I know. But I was doing good for most of the time I was there, I promise y'all. But I went in late, and I think I was late by like a couple minutes or something. And I went to my supervisor. I'm like, hey, me being late today puts me over, having that integrity. Hey, it puts me over that 3.5 threshold. She looked at me. She's like, don't worry about it. I'll fix it. Praise God. Amen. Bless you, sister. She was like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. So I just had, so the job was helping me build discipline. I had grace beyond measure there. Yeah, but I was just like, I'm totally fine. But I'm glad I wasn't. Because I got a lot of connections on that job too, even though I was there very briefly. But also I thought about too is the freeway. That's what I started to talk about is I haven't been driving. That's why I was talking about me not driving long. And I used to be really apprehensive about the freeway. And I think God kind of just allowed me to get into this job because it's like, all right, here, silly. You be feeling some type of way about the freeway, right? You're in a new city, so you don't even know these streets. I'm going to give you a job to where nobody else is out. And I've always said I like driving at night anyway. And 4 a.m. is still the nighttime to me. But I definitely feel like I was blessed and allowed to have this job because I'm getting up at 4 a.m. Nobody else is up at 4 a.m. So I was able to learn the streets and learn the city and experience the freeway without having like the anxiety or pressure of having other drivers on the road. So now I can drive during the day. Oh, hey, I know this exit. I know where I'm going. I know where to get off at. So me having working this job and being up at the butt crack of dawn allowed me to just really get comfortable. And that was something I'm like looking back. Oh my God, you're so smart. I'm so thankful. Thank you. And it's just so many times that God like will just, because he orchestrates everything. But like when I notice, like when he allows certain things to happen. So I got to learn the freeway. I got discipline. And I told y'all that this job is actually lower than what I had wanted. Oh no, I can't drive that late. So funny story, when I first started learning to drive, it was actually one of my business partners that helped me start learning to drive. And we were always, whether it's like in a season where we had day jobs or not, but we would be working our business through the day. So the only time we had to practice was at night. So I'm a beast at driving at night. I love driving at night. I'm more comfortable driving at night than I am in the daytime. Like when it came time for me to actually take my driving exam, I had to go out and practice driving during the day because I was so used to driving at night. So I actually prefer driving in the evening. I know that's kind of backwards. But what was I saying? Oh, so, the job was a little lower pay than I expected, but I just needed just something. And I think maybe like 2 weeks or so, like 3 weeks, I don't know, however many weeks into working that job, they had like an all team meeting or whatever. They're like, hey, you guys are getting 2 raises. So it ended up being a total of a $3 raise. Okay, cool. I was going to make it work. And, because I just needed, right. Because we'll get into that another day, another video. But, I just needed some right now money, a weekly check or whatever. So I'm like, it don't matter. I just need something as I build my business out here in Columbus. And when I got that $3 raise, I'm like, okay. And it kind of showed me like there's a time to enter and there's a time to leave. Because at first, like when I first got the job, certain people were like 5 a.m. Like, no. And I just felt like I was just supposed to be there for a minute. And that was worth it, staying for an extra $3. They're like, hey, you're starting here. Now we're giving you $3. And then going back to the job that Sam, the day that I was interviewing, or the day I got that job, I think was the day I did the second interview for the other place. The other place was more of like the type of work that I usually do, because this was actually a warehouse job, the job that I've been at since I've been in Columbus. Y'all may not know me, but this whole physical, manual, labory type thing ain't really my scene. Jesus. Yeah. And it wasn't that bad. Like I wasn't lifting heavy stuff, but it just wasn't. I felt like, who had the show? Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, like where they were going to like random jobs. I felt like them. I felt like a little powder princess, but show me how much of a girl I really am. But, so the job that I interviewed for, like the same week that I came up here, and they were like, hey, we like you, but they were having, I think it was something going through the staffing agency or whatever. They're like, we can't offer it to you. And it was just different things going on. I think they end up staying in touch. I think I ended up having like a third interview or something. So I could tell like they really wanted me to come on. And it was more of a lines along. It was like office work, which is what I'm used to. And it was more money. So there's a time to enter and there's a time to leave. That's a phrase that my mentor had introduced me to. And I definitely believe that. It's like when you stay somewhere where you're not supposed to be, then all hell breaks loose. So you got to stick it out sometimes and stay somewhere, even if it doesn't look like how you think it's supposed to look. But then when God says, yo, it's time to go, it's time to go. And it was just something like, hey, I can't keep, because I wasn't able to effectively build my business the way I wanted to. Like, I, made great money that first month here through my business, but I was so tired. Like, I was exhausted. So it's like, hey, I'm able to meet with clients, meet with new teammates, and train people. And I made decent money that first month through my business, but I was exhausted and tired. And I'm like, I'm going to run myself ragged. I can't do this job and this business. So I got to find something that the hours work a little better. So I'm looking, and I had been looking for something that matched a little better to what my goal was and the reason why I'm out here, which is to open my office and build my business. So I end up looking for other positions, and then I called the guys back who had interviewed me like 2-3 times, and I called them back and I let them know, hey, I am I've been doing seasonal work. I'm looking for a more like permanent-ish position. Let me know if I still should be considering you all or not. I think I left this as a voicemail. The guy calls back. He's like, how soon you want to start? I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, we haven't found anyone like to fill the position. How soon can you start? I'm like, well, I guess Monday. This might have been like a Tuesday or something. I'm like, Monday. He's like, hey, don't burn bridges, whatever. Do what you got to do. Like, if you need to push it out, then push it out. But, he's like, how soon can you start? So, Sam, if you just get on, make sure you go back and rewatch this. And that's just something where I'm like, I think I came out here like maybe July. I got to look at the dates. I looked at in July when I got the job that was on the spot and interviewed for the other position. And this is months down the road where it's like, God everything don't always work out in that moment. Would I have liked to start that position immediately? Yeah, but I wouldn't have I think I met like 10 different people at that job, at the warehouse job. It built discipline and all the other stuff I talked about. So it was a lot that came out of working the job that I was working. And then I met several different people. I met someone who has a cleaning business. I love meeting other entrepreneurs, and I met like different parents and different things where I'm going to be able to bless them through my business. And so when the guy called back saying, hey, you can start, as soon as you're ready and available to, and again, it's more money. And then the last thing I'll say is I'm excited. I'm like, all right, this is the end. But what's funny is that I think we had agreed that I was going to start Monday. And I started not to share this part, but I will, because there's still blessings that came out of this. So I was supposed to start this Monday, actually. And I was looking to hear back from them, like, I think over the weekend on, like, what time to start and, like, different specifics. And I didn't hear back. And something was just like, you know what? Pop up. I'm like, something told me, like, I knew, like, they weren't ready for me to start yet, because I guess they were still working stuff out. But to go. So I popped up, and it wasn't far from my house. So I popped up, and they're like, hey, like, we're not ignoring you. We didn't call you, but this, that, and the other. Like, there's some stuff we're working out. Because they're like not like a startup, but like a smaller company or whatever. So I guess they're working through some stuff or whatever. But even that, when they're like, hey, we're not ready for you to start yet, I wasn't mad. It was just another like, oh, okay. And I end up coming home, and I can't remember what I was going to do, but I came home, and not too shortly after me coming home, someone called me saying, hey, or I think I let someone know, like, hey, I'm not at work, because they're like, oh, how's it going? I'm like, not there, haven't started yet. And what's crazy is someone else ended up texting them saying, hey, I'm going to be late for work, my tire blew, all this other type of stuff. And they end up calling me saying, hey, have a friend, I know you don't know them, but, you're available. Would you mind grabbing them and bringing them to work? Because they can't make it. And it just wasn't even a second thought. I'm like, all right, send me their phone number, send me their address. And I was just looking, it's like, and what's funny is I pulled up to the job where I was supposed to start. And before I got out, I'm like, God, show me who I'm supposed to bless. Show me who you want me to talk to. Show me who you want me to pray for today. Show me who I'm supposed to listen to today. Allow me the wisdom to see them and the courage to speak to whoever that person is. And that was right before I walked into the job that I wasn't able to start. But if I started there, I wouldn't have been able to help this young lady out, because it's just her, and she's got a baby. I was able to help her get her baby to daycare and for her to go to work so she didn't have to miss a full day of work because she lacked transportation. And she and I were talking about different things, and I'm like, you're an answer to prayer. She's like, what? I'm like, you're an answer to a prayer I prayed earlier. I told God to show me who he wants me to bless and who he wants me to help and who he wants me to talk to and pray for today. And just to think, like, and again, like, it's funny because I wasn't mad or upset or annoyed that they were like going around the bush. And I end up later on being like, oh, that's why you weren't mad, because you had something else that you were supposed to be doing today. So, you know, even though when stuff doesn't look like it's going the way it should or the way you want it to, that doesn't mean it's not going the way it's supposed to, if that makes sense. So even though I wasn't able to start the job that I have been kind of like excited to start, I was able to bless somebody else. And I think that's it. That's pretty much like what's been going on. Sam, you're so coachable. No, yeah, go ahead and watch. I'm about to end this live. Go back and watch it again. But that is about it. I'm pretty sure I remember something else, but I'm gonna, I don't know if it was just the transition to Columbus or what, but I know like I have not gone live in a while, and I'm really glad I did. And I thank you guys for your feedback. Thank you guys for watching. And that's something I've been working on since I was like, I don't know. That's going to be my affirmation, is that I speak at a pace and a speed that people can understand. I do talk fast. I don't even know where that came from, because none of my parents or my siblings do. But I do talk at a speed in which people can understand. If you guys don't ever catch anything I say, ask me to repeat it. I don't mind. But I'm going to get better at working and at speaking clearly and enunciating and speaking slower. But there's 2 other videos I have in mind, and those will be very short videos. This one I knew would be a little longer because there's been a lot going on since like the last time I went live and since my transition. But I don't know when I make those. I might make them tonight since I got the time to do it. I don't know. Who knows? But 2 other videos coming up, and I'm gonna try and see if I can get. I tried to pull my my tablet out and it's not working. But so Tay, you're gonna have to help me figure out how to do this whole like double live thing. But let's pray before I head out. Jesus, thank you. Thank you for all you've done from the beginning of time, before I was ever even a notion in my mother's womb. I just thank you. I thank you for taking the pain of the cross for me. I thank you for your blood that covers me, that allows us to have fellowship with you. I thank you for thinking enough of me to die for me, and I thank you for calling me to your kingdom. I know you have great things in store for me and great things for me to do, and I thank you for trusting me with the work of your kingdom. I thank you for all the blessings I've had. Thank you for everything that led me to Columbus and all that you're going to do through me and for me in Columbus. I just pray that I always have discernment. I just pray that I'm always listening to you. I pray that I'm always in your word. God, please help me to stay diligent and to show the fruits of the Spirit and not the fruits of the flesh. I just pray that your will be done, and that I just walk in according to your will at all times. God, I just thank you for all you've done, all you're doing, all you will do through me and my friends, the people who are watching this. I know they have great ministries as well, God. I plead the blood of Jesus. I intercede on their behalf. I just pray for their businesses and their ministries, God. I know that I've noticed a lot of people I'm attached to all have great things to do in your name. And I just pray there be protection over us. I pray there be protection over our minds, over our hearts, over our focus. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. It's not just killing our physical bodies, but killing our ambition and stealing our focus and our drive. And I just pray that we stay focused on what you have for us to do, that we don't let emotions or feelings or people distract us from what you've had for us to do. I just pray that we stay on the path, and I just pray that you protect our businesses and our families and our ministries, and we do all that you have for us to do, God. In your son's mighty name I pray. Amen. Thank you, guys. I love you guys so much. Continue to bless this lady. Oh, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Taya. I enjoyed y'all being on live with me today. That's why I like going live as opposed to just posting the video. But shut up. I'm getting out, man. Oh, thank you. Somebody said I'll be the best rapper alive. I was listening to Eminem earlier. Let me go in. No, I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to read your comments afterwards. I love you. Bye.